Just another lovely day down here at 79th, and here comes our first crew of the day. Couple and a dog on the jet ski. Looks like the dog's even got a life jacket on. What is he doing? And they just smack head on into the dock. They didn't even slow down, didn't even try to stop. What in the world is going on here? Now they see the camera and they're like, hey bro, camera, there we go. Yeah, that'll be on YouTube later. Yeah, user error is correct on that one, my good sir. Oh my God, what is going on here? They're on fire. What? Man, so she's going for water. Maybe he's going for... I'm hoping he's looking for the fire extinguisher. No, he's coming back empty-handed. Maybe it's either dead or they don't have one. I mean, that would be very Miami for you. But, I mean, they're getting it put out. What in the world would have caused that? I got to imagine for it to go out like that and to be the flames where they were, it's got to be leaking fuel. It has to be a gasoline fire of some kind. Fuel was leaking out the back of the engine. Spark caught it, and it caught on fire, maybe? I'm not a boat mechanic. I'll be the first one to admit that. And it's funny because they were coming over here to pick somebody up. I can see the person on the dock talking to him, which tells me she was waiting on them. And she's like, yeah, sorry, sister. I don't know if we're going out today. But that's the person they're waiting on. Let me know in the comments. I'll go ahead and put a little QR code on the screen, guys, because most of you are watching this on TVs, which makes it difficult to comment, but you can scan the QR code, and by doing so, it'll pull it up on your phone right from you sitting on the couch, and you can go to this video and leave your comment. But what would possibly cause that fire? I'm really not sure on this one. Like I said, the way it was burning, it looks like it had to be fuel, though. So the crew is getting lucky here, as the wind and current just happens to be going the right direction for them and is slowly pushing them into the dock. Slowly. It's not happening fast, but this is why you keep an oar or something on your boat. Even a boat hook right here would probably be fine, especially if you got one like I have on my boat that's 8 or 10 foot. They're probably not in 8 or 10 foot of water anymore, and you could just put it on the ground kind of and just push yourself along, if you needed to, from where they're sitting at least. But getting some lines on the ready. This one's one of the wilder ones. I don't think I've ever had somebody actually come into the boat ramp on fire. Now, we've seen plenty of engines coming down here smoking it up. You know, the old two-stroke's gonna smoke you out, but the this is the first time I've actually seen one that was up in flames. As they were trying to come in. Like I said, I don't even know if they launched here. I did not personally see them launch here. I'm guessing they probably did earlier. But they were coming to pick somebody up, is what it looks like. It looks like their friend was here waiting to meet them. And things went wrong. I'm curious whether they're going to get this started back up, or if they're just going to try and get it out of here. I mean, I think if my engine caught on fire, I'd be putting it on the truck. I'd be like, yeah, I'm done for the day. Let's get this one home so we can take a better look at it and figure out what it is. But that's not always the case down here in Miami. Some of these guys, to be honest, are a little more adventurous, I would say, than me, as they will have no problem going out there and leaving a blazing flame of fire behind them as they're going. Actually, they might think that's cool, boating at night, flames coming out the back of the boat as they're going. So, our girl's taking control down here today. Not playing. She's telling him to move, basically because he's getting prepped right here, so he's pulling out. But she's saying, no, like, you want to attach those lines? Do it up there, get off my ramp. And telling him the same thing. If you've got prep work to do, don't pull on my ramp. Go up there and do it. Amazing. If everybody would follow this rule, life would be so much easier down at the boat ramp. You don't prep your boat, load or unload it on the ramp. If you got any prep work whatsoever, if you're loading coolers, you got to remove lines, put drain plugs in, take drain plugs out. Don't do it on move and let the ramp get open. So our next crew coming in on approach on the old jet ski. So coming in slow, the girl on the end of the dock is, I believe she's with them because she's kind of giving them that eyeball like, hey, what's going on? And there's another ski on the other side, but I'm waiting to see if they get yelled at as well because these docks are not for skis, and our girl's been all over it today, keeping things moving the way they're supposed to down here. Yep, here she comes. So our girls pull off the dock. I think they were trying to get their friend. So I'm not going to pretend that I speak Spanish. I do not. So I have no earthly clue what she said. Again, QR code, let me know in the comments what she said, because not an idea. But it looks like they're not in a rush to try and get down to 7. So I'm assuming they're going to try and pick her up right here. Just spinning circles, and I don't know if our guy was actually pulling out or what, but or if this lady was with him, because she's just being left there now. So yes, they're coming back up. Gonna pick their friend up here on 3. Well, looks like somebody's getting off. Maybe we're doing the old switcheroo. We see that one pretty common down here as well. So next crew coming up, and Cap's just kind of off on his angle as he's trying to come in. And approaches the dock, but missing there on the first shot. Wifey, she's having a tough time because of what she's holding to hold on to the dock, and that's a little difficult task. Right choice, he made the right one to hang on to right there. So Cap's going to have to work on getting this one a little closer and making things a little easier on the approach. So pulls back out. I'm not sure if we're going to go after the same dock or we're going to take a different shot here now. So it looks like we're going to switch it up. And he leaves the helm, goes for the pole grab as they're trying to hold on 3. No lines out, nothing really on the ready. I mean, he could have just hung out for a few seconds, got a few lines. There we go, actually. I'm sorry, I'm over-speaking. He does have a line there. And gets it wrapped around the pole. And should be good to go. As they're still trying to get it set up. So our next crew coming in, taking a look at which way they want to head to. Coming in a little hot as they put a little throttle behind it as they're working their way toward the dock now. Cat's possibly going to have to brake check this one out. That stern's kicking over pretty quickly. Goes for the straight move to try and straighten it out and slow it down a little bit. And there's somebody in the bow, it appears, so they've got some help up there. but kind of getting a little squirrely with the steering there at the end. And the stern kicks out, steps off. That's going to make it even worse as he's going to kick the boat out. And there's no line. I can't tell if the front line's attached or not. But he's able to grab the gunnel. And look at her. She's holding a line like, what do you want me to do with this? It's not going to reach. Holding some sort of strap. And she's like, bro, there we go. Gets it off and switches the side. And gonna tie it off. So the Jetboat coming in on approach, got Wifey in the bow, working on the lines. Let's see how Cap does. Kind of a calm day down here today, not a ton of wind and current. So he should have an easy approach as he tries to work his way in. And she's on the stern now, trying to get that line set up as well. So I guess we got both lines set up before we hit the dock, which is pretty good. A lot better than most down here. I mean, they even, I guess them using two lines is better than most down here at 79. As very rarely do we even see lines. It is becoming a little more common. Fenders are still optional, apparently. I think they had some, though. So Cap's trying to bring it in. That stern's kicking out on him as he tries to get the bow over. And somebody just needs to go for the toss or the grab to try and get them on. I mean, they've got two lines set up there ready. I mean, you could probably get one of those over a pole. And there we go. Caps finally says, yeah, if you guys aren't going to do it, I'm going to do it. He leaves the helm, goes for the reach, and it slides a little far out on him. So they're trying to get it brought over and in now. And he's trying to get the line over there on the pole. And there we go. Caps off. And he should be able to get it brought alongside the dock now. So our next crew is trying to pull out. Kind of some odd mannerisms going on here as they're trying to do it. They've got the trailer a little deep. The boat's floating pretty hard. But the same thing we were talking about earlier, not to do, they're doing to a T. They're trying to pull out, and they've been prepping the boat for pullout on the ramp. Probably the worst one of all. Like, you're done with your day. I can put these lines away, get things sorted off the ramp. But here, even you can see, they pulled forward like a few feet and are still working on the boat, getting things ready to go, versus actually leaving the ramp, which is what you should do. At this point, pull forward to a prep area, or even better yet, I would just pull into a parking space. You're done. So I would go park the trailer in one of the parking spots, do everything I needed to do to it before we left over there, and then come back. The worst part's they're not on their own. So they came in with a few other boats, and they are on the other side kind of doing the exact same thing. They haven't pulled their boat out yet, but they are taking their sweet time trying to get it out. Because they all came in the same time. These guys at least have theirs on the trailer. As he's getting it, I just can't believe we're prepping right here on the lane. As you can see, it's a little wet, so we had some rain come through, and that typically happens. A lot of the people who work here will go take cover inside, so our girl who's over here running the show is not here right this second to yell at him as he's putting straps on. Again, nothing he's doing here couldn't be done somewhere else, but again, they came in with another group on a boat. That other group on the boat, their boat's still in the water. His girl's walking over to say goodbye to that crew, and they haven't even got their truck in yet. So she walks over, gives her a hug, and once again, just taking our time. Everybody's just No rush to get off the ramp. Now, it's not crazy busy because that rainstorm came through, but again, it's still ramp courtesy, and I have no clue how long it's going to take this other crew to get out of here. They've literally been here just as long as the other guys, and again, they've got their boat on the trailer. Maybe they can't find their truck. That's always a possibility, right? So the crew we see here, obviously, they're leaving and not with them. So they're going to go ahead and try and back out, head out onto the bay, and enjoy their day. I think he left without starting the engines, though. There we go. Now they're started. Definitely don't recommend that one either. If you're pushing off the dock, I'd probably start the engines before I pushed off the dock. So our next crew, fenders out, on the ready. Cap comes in on approach. So you can tell it's gotten a little busier since the rain pushed through. And making a slow attempt in on the dock. This is one of those boats I would not want to have out here at low tide. At low tide, this one will be an absolute beast to try and get off of because it would be so much lower than the docks down here. So one of the crew works their way over. They've got a line in hand. Man, this boat doesn't like the amount of weight all being on that port side. As you can see the lean on this. As Cap continues to walk out, where is he going? So he's walking it forward. They're going to wind up on the ramp. If he keeps that one up, it looks like he's going to have to back out. I'm confused here because things looked okay. They had a hand on the dock. Still going for the stretch, but not going to make it. And Cap's going to have to try and bring this one back over. And goes for the stretch. Hand out. We've got the second line ready to roll. As they're trying to get it pulled over. So, our guy's got his foot out of the boat, basically. I mean, they're so far up now, he probably could stand. It's only probably a few feet of water. And the foot is on the dock. There's like a little railing down below there. I'm trying to get it wrapped around. A person on the stern, they want to get off. They toss the line. Oh, they're going to go for the stretch off. And there we go. It doesn't wind up in the water, which is key. But that was one way to go ahead and just force yourself off. Like, yeah, get me off this boat. I'm done. So our crew next to him is pulling out. And she is crooked on the trailer as they come up. So my guess is they're going to have to back that one back down and try and recenter it. So we're going to bring it back, try and get her floating again. And the real trick to this is just to try and pull out as slow as possible. Let the trailer do its thing. Most trailers are self-centering, or at least designed to kind of do so. And it's just about pulling it out in the right spot. Now, don't get me wrong, you need that bow in a good spot to start with. So our guy's walking down the dock, talking to his friend. They're not really touching the bow. Nope, somebody's up at the bow. Looks like they're going to try and bring that bow a little further up on the roller, maybe. As the rest of our crew is trying to get off this other vessel. So their buddy needs a little hand. So it's starting to get dark down here. Nighttime falls, and as we've mentioned many times before in some of these videos, this is when it gets busy. Everybody, I mean, typically at a boat ramp, you know, that like, you think about that, like that end of evening kind of deal where it gets busy, but by dark, they're dead. Not here at 79th. You want to see the busiest time to come down here? Come down here after the sun sets or just after the sun sets. And it is wild and crazy how busy it is down here. You'll have 20 boats out here just waiting for a dock to open up. So Cat makes his turn in. Girl heads up to the bow, and we're going to make a starboard side approach. And coming in, looks pretty solid. As they're trying to get a line ready now. They're still working on just getting the boat to slide right over where it needs to be. Again, somebody here could toss a line around a pole. It's a little bit of a stretch for the grab. And we got the jet ski trailer over here on the left. You can't really see it off the screen, but man, they're struggling over there. We're going to have to move over to them here in a moment. But that's attempt 2 on the jet ski trailer, and here he comes back for 3, as we're still waiting on this guy to try and put this one on. So there we go. He's got the motors turned into the dock now, bringing it back over. And there we go. We get the step off with the line, and that jet ski's going the wrong way again. You can see it's going to pop into the corner of the screen here. Oh, man. Our guy was struggling. So they reset themselves up, and here we go again. So now we're backing toward the ramp instead of toward the other boat this time. He's going to hit the ramp. So he stops before he does, thankfully. And he's going to give it another shot. So slowly working their way back this time, trying to take it easy and make sure they got it lined up the right way. And it starts to slide out, gets a little frustrated. You can tell by how fast they pulled forward. And they're going to try and set it up one more time. That's typically where I can tell the frustration sets in. When I start seeing people pull forward really quickly, they're taking that aggression out on the throttle, and this is not the place to do that. So many people walking by, as you can see. That can end bad quickly as well. So really up, there we go, gets the turn back. Little 79th Street wobble action, but that'll be good and get him in the water. I don't know where everybody went. Our girl had other people with her all earlier when she was launching. Now she's by herself coming back, but I'm sure she had a great day. And speaking of having a great day, so did we, but we're going to go ahead and get out of here as well. Thanks for watching, crew. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Miami Boat Ramps. If you did, please check out our other content. We have Wavy Boats, who does a bunch of great things down at the inlets. My channel, Broncos Guru, do some great comedy boating videos there as well. And of course, we've got Boats vs. Haulover, where me and a machine take on Mother Nature down at beautiful Haulover Inlet. And if you guys haven't already, go ahead and drop an anchor on the subscribe button here.